Okay. Hi, Maha.
Hey, hi,
Hi.
Jason.
Hi. So thank you for accepting this interview today. I think this you are the first
Oh,
parent that will
yeah.
do the
Yeah.
interview for us. So like I mentioned, I mentioned a little bit about this my channel, but
Mhm.
to give you a little bit of a story behind that, I guess so the parenting subject by itself is such an interesting and hard subject. So you can get a lot of information about the experts by watching a TED talk and whatnot. But my approach or my thought was to just share every parents their stories. So that's why our channel name is My Parenting Stories.
Oh, that's
So
nice. Yeah, I'm like really
so
excited.
yeah. So basically, yes, I wanted to hear about your parenting stories, and then we want to share your stories with others, and then hopefully other people can, get some benefit of your sort of parenting stories. And I think that's basically the idea.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so to get started, I'd like to sort of, if you could just introduce yourself about yourself, your probably your occupation, or if you're okay, you can share your marital status and your child. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. I am Maha, and yeah, so I did my graduation in engineering, and yeah, so yet another software engineer,
Oh,
and my
okay.
husband Uday also is the same thing, so another software engineer. So
Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah, so we both are yeah married for almost 15 years. We have 14-year-old boy. We have only one boy. So
oh, I see.
my husband is like he want to share all his love with only one kid. So he want to have only one kid. I-
Oh, I see. I see. So purposely have a one. So you
yeah,
guys.
purpose.
Yeah.
Actually, I am the only child, so I
Okay. Oh,
always
okay.
wanted to have multiple kids and a big family and all. But my husband is adamant, like especially after having first kid, he was so possessive about him, and he don't want to share his love to anybody else other
Oh,
than
wow.
his kid.
So
So that's why we ended up being only one kid.
got it. Oh, so that your son must have been a lot of love, cutting a lot of love.
Every
As you,
parent will do that. That is what I am realizing. Whether you have one or two, it is
okay.
unconditional. It
Okay,
keeps
that's great.
generating.
So you are both your engineers,
Yeah.
and you have one son, I think. Oh, that's very, very interesting. Okay, so given that, so I know it's like just generally you love your children, but I wanted to ask you, what do you think from your perspective? What is actually what is your thought on parenting? What would be a good parenting, or what is a parenting to you?
Actually, I was thinking a lot about it initially, but
Mm.
especially after raising kid for 14 years and
Yeah,
as parents and all, we don't really need any special education. We
got it.
just need to mold it like, as per the kid's behavior, because, we are not the only ones who are raising the kid. Most of the thing, most of the values, what we give them, we are thinking we are giving them. But actually, they have their own attitude and they will be learning from so many other channels, right?
That's true. That's
Especially
right.
in
Yes.
this in this world, they go outside, learn something, they watch some other TV shows, they learn something. I mean, everything. I was thinking like, I should be very nice, friendly, like, behave like a friend, all these things and all I was reading. And but my parents were very, very strict with me. I
Okay.
mean, my mom was a single mom, so she was very strict. She was afraid that, I
Okay.
might turn,
Yeah.
yeah, so she was very strict and she used to impose rules I
I see.
used to follow. But nowadays kids have changed, right? I think that's the
Yes.
same for every generation. We can't impose the rules. But sometimes I was not very strict until like last 1 year. But
Oh,
these days I realize I need to be strict at some point of time, because they will be learning something, they will be deviating. We need to put them like, whatever it is, they like us or they don't like us, we need to put them, we need to be harsher, we need to tell them that this is not right. Like,
I see.
every time you can't be very soft, like, no baby, that is not right, this won't work. Sometimes if you do that, you can't be part of this home. So
I
sometimes
see.
that is what I read.
Okay.
Actually, in Indian, in my language, there is something like, Even God needs one stick. So
No,
that's
got it. Oh, okay. Some discipline has to be in
some
place. I think
discipline
that's
needs to
basically,
be there.
yeah.
I
I see.
feel that
Okay.
I mean, I realized that my parenting, my parents, they were all right at some point of time. They
Yes.
were
Yeah.
harsh with me for some reason.
I see.
That I realized it, but very late. Recently only, I sometimes I try to be serious these days.
I see. That's great. And could you tell us? So your cultural background is a sort of a single mom, very hard, very strict on disciplining you, and coming into the U.S. I think your child will get exposed very different sort of cultural background. How do you kind of deal with that sort of differences or enforce like disciplines? Is that it's been hard for
Actually,
you?
I never imposed any rules on him till now. So off late, like
Really?
after
Okay.
2, 3, I mean, he will go and try karate. Okay, go and fine. Then he'll
Okay.
stop. He'll lose interest. That's fine. He'll try cubing and he will stop it after some time. Because at some point of time, my mom used to do that. She never used to force me. Like
Oh,
so all these home things and all. We have some classes, right? Art classes
yes.
and all.
Yeah.
I never used to complete, but she never forced me. And some people will do stitching and all, but my mom said you don't have to do that, you should earn enough money so someone else will do that for you.
Oh, I see. So
So,
there are
but
some, yeah.
actually behavior wise, I mean, I should get either first or second rank in my school. Whenever I dropped to fifth
Oh,
rank,
okay. That's good. Okay.
she used to threaten me that I'll get married to one rickshaw auto driver or somebody, and she'll show one small hut, and your whole life you will be living there because you don't get first rank. That's how
Okay.
she used to threaten me. I used to get threatened, and being a girl, right? She used to force me like you should walk like this in your road. Look, you should not look and do this and all.
Oh,
But I
wow.
used to follow that all those things. I was so scared to talk to other guys and like I think that is the reason why initially after I went to college in during my initial career.
Mhm.
Oh, should I start?
No, 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 no. Go ahead. No.
I was like, I was not so self-confident. So I mean, I was like not exactly introvert. I have so many things going on. I cannot speak up in meetings. It took a while for me to overcome all these things.
I see.
Whereas some high-fi people and all whom I see, right, like they say their opinion openly and all. I think we need to give them to face everything like with the courage. Like you don't have to be obedient and all.
I
Some
see.
that's what that was lacking. I struggled, not struggled. I had to work hard to speak up. But actually, I am very talkative person.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
But yeah, in meetings and all, I mean, I don't know what they say. Maybe am I talking right or not? Like, I'll get scared very easily. So I don't speak up easily. So I mean, I take things little bit longer. So I mean, when I see the other confident and the other hi-fi parents, I mean, like some director kids and all, when we meet now, they're very social and they talk very confidently even to a new person and all. That's what I think, it's the confidence their parents gave. Like they are not afraid of anybody else. For example, right, like my
Yeah.
husband and I, we both are from a middle class family. If we
Okay.
wanted to start up, can we skip our job or can we take a risk at at the beginning of our career to do something else which we like? I think, I realized we were trained to be employees, not
Oh,
employers,
I see.
to
I see.
think
I see.
outside of
Yeah.
the box.
Yeah.
Like do good, study well, get good marks, be nice with everybody.
Hmm.
You don't talk that, don't, I mean, that is what in my parents opinion we are successful definitely. But
Yes.
actually now when I see whatever I am struggling, the small things and all, it's because of that, maybe that is good for me from where I am to where I was to where I am today. I did true, but now when I see why did I not have that, problem solving is like, even starting a small shop, even
Hmm.
that's a startup now. If you see some Uber, right, it's a
Yes.
small problem.
Yes.
But actually see that outside of box thinking was missing because of us, because of like, you should think like that, you should be very nice, you should behave, you should not say no to others.
I
So
think okay.
I mean,
So
too
the
much of respect, yeah.
I see. So the expectation, setting up on you, will kind of define maybe that makes you a little bit less outspoken, and that's
Exactly,
the
yeah,
way you
yeah.
grow up, and you want your child to be more outspoken, have confidence. That's what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think.
So I mean, he should be happy with himself. Only then he should think about others. Why
I see.
it's not vice
Ah,
versa.
okay. So I see. So cool. Wow. So you kind of so looking back on your sort of parenting from your parents, and I mean that was most likely, I think it's uh, around that time, right? 20, 30, or even 30
Yeah,
years ago, the situation, economic situation was like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, right.
And then you had an engineering sort of degree that was kind of the guarantee to be successful route, or the doctors and whatnot, I think. And then now, more than now, in now current times, the kid, your kid, I think he's kind of looking, is that senior in high school? Is it
No,
going for
he's a middle schooler. Next year he'll be going to high school. He's
14?
in
Oh,
eighth
that's right. Yeah.
grade.
So you have like wide sort of future ahead of him, and then you wanted to have open-minded, have the confidence. And so do you have some expectation of what kind of job you want him to get,
I don't
or
want him to do this job.
oh, okay,
But
I see.
no,
The job as
look,
an entrepreneur, it's like you open, you know,
yeah,
open
yeah.
your own.
I want him to be little relaxed and be happy and do whatever, right? Like whatever
Yeah.
he wants. Like he doesn't. I mean, I don't even want him to be a very superficial, super intelligent person like maybe Elon Musk or anybody. Because
Yes.
when I was reading their books and all, right? So Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, whoever it is. So
Yes.
I mean, in their personal life also, what I felt is like they're not very, very happy. They might be very rich. I want
Okay.
him to
Oh,
be
I
a
see.
very
I
happy and
see.
average person and let him to choose whatever career he want. I don't want him to be a failure. That's it.
Oh, I see. Like the failure, but as in himself, right? So that like
Yes,
there
exactly.
is a
Yeah,
certain pressure was gonna keep given to the your
yeah,
child,
yeah.
and just leaving their like teenager life, meeting that expectation for your parents, and in the end he's not happy. Then that's not what you want. You
That,
want
that's
him to
what
be
I expect for him. Like, at some point of time I wanted him to start a company, CEO and all. Even he wanted to start his own company. He used to
okay.
write his own ideas in a book, something and all. I think, when they were very young, boys especially, they do that. Later on, all they want to do is a video game. I want to play video game.
Yes,
I
yes,
want to
yes,
develop
yes.
a
I
video
see that.
game.
Yeah.
So now, a week ago, he was asking me, like, that manager said this manager said this. When I was talking, he said, like, that's exactly the reason why I don't want to be an employee, mom. I want to do something. Then I asked him, like, he's a lazy person, basically. I asked him, for that, you have to really work hard more than what I am working. Yes, but I'm working for myself, not for somebody, right?
I
I'll
see.
work and I'll take vacation whenever I want. I was really happy, but I am not sure whether that will happen or not. I just want him to be a happy person, happy, average person in his life and be happy with his
Oh,
family.
I see. So having said that, yes, it's kind of a you're kind of giving him a ground to be happy, right? So, uh, but at the same time, we don't put an expectation on, okay, you need to be good at, you need to get a good grade, or you need to be a good sort of
He never used to
okay,
do that.
yeah,
He used to get very good grades
okay,
when he was
okay,
young.
okay.
But now, when he's growing, like, he is not caring about the grades. Sometimes, he's very, very lazy. He don't study much. I don't want to emphasize that as well. Like, every day study for half an hour or pay attention in your class. That is good enough, because evening he'll come home, he'll play and he'll sleep early. I don't want to force him to study, because if you say too many things, they will become like, anti, right? Like they don't want to
They don't
listen to
want
the
to lose
point.
the interest at all.
Yeah.
Also,
So I mean, at some point of time, I realized that, like, I should have forced him from the beginning. Now I tell him, like, you should get A's. Whenever it goes below, yeah, I'll remind him, like, "No, that's fine. When I mean, you have to learn, you have to get A plus to go to a good college, because you have only 4 years. Nowadays, I'll remind him, I'll set the basic goal. I'll try to help, try to help him that it is important to get A's whenever it goes down. I think when they were very young, they don't need to do that,
I see.
because syllabus is easy, right?
Mhm.
They want to do something.
Okay. So how's the communication between you and your son? Do you? I'm guessing you were working, and how do you communicate with your son? Do you have some time daily, or I think he's being teenager, right?
They don't
He
want
wants
us
to
to
have his
spend
own.
time with.
So do you feel like you're very close to him, or
I am still I am, but
yeah?
maybe soon I won't be.
Okay, and which is what you want. Like you want him to go his route, right? And then rather than all the time you listen to
I think,
meet your
maybe my
expectation, right? Yeah.
awareness was little less previously about this high school and what's going on around here. And there are so many other available options, right? I mean, they're not so good options. There are other options and all. I mean, whatever we emphasize when they go to the middle school, their behavior changes. They are too much into styling, everything. I'm
Yeah.
fine some things, but some things we don't know, right? Like, so actually, I'll tell you one interesting
Okay.
story. At
Yeah.
fifth
Okay.
grade,
That'd be great. Yeah.
at fifth grade, we are very shy people, me and my husband. So
Okay.
we don't watch any other show more than TV 14, even when Jay was not present. We are that kind of people.
Oh,
We
I see. I
don't
see.
use
Okay.
any other word, like,
Okay.
any bad word for that
Okay.
matter.
That's
So
right. Mhm.
so we are very, very shy. So, but actually, what happened was one day my husband got a call at when Jay was like fifth grader. We went to school and his teacher told, like, they are using bad words. So at for a fifth grader, some bad words are like, very simple words technically.
Okay.
Yeah, so simple words, not so bad words.
Okay. Okay. But
So
it's yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, we were shocked. My husband was almost in tears.
Okay. Okay.
So then, he was at some point of time feeling that most of the kids will get it because when parents use it, that's what our assumption, right? So
But
that's
it's
when,
I see.
yeah, so I mean, I actually, Swati is my kind of parenting guide. Every time, whenever there is a problem with me, and if I have any question, I'll go to Swati. I don't go
Okay.
to my parents because, they are from a different
That's
generation,
right.
right?
Okay.
So,
So
and
Swati having 18
yeah,
she has
15
a
year old kid and 18-year-old
I
kid.
see.
So
So she has more experience.
exactly, her
I see.
second kid and my kids are almost similar.
I
So
see.
I'll go and I tell my problem to her, and she'll tell me how she dealt with that. She also had similar kind of problem, and she told me, just because he doesn't know what are bad words. Did you ever tell him that these are bad words and you should not use that and you should behave that way? So I mean, we thought those are bad words and we should not use it. So nobody ever taught him that we should not use that. Maybe in school they would have taught, I don't know, but I never taught him, so I don't have the right to scold him that, you should not behave that way. That's when I realized I don't have enough awareness. Not
I
just
see.
that, right now I'm scared. Right now he's in high school. There are so many other things going on here, like smoking weed or whatever.
Yes.
So just because we don't know, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist in the world,
Exactly.
right? So having the basic knowledge. And I mean, kids are like, we say that motivation is like food. Every day we need it, right? Even for us to work. For
Yes.
kids also, we need to remind them. For that, they don't like us in teenage group. Behave good. Don't talk to anybody who is doing any
Yes.
bad stuff. You should not be part of it. When we are repeating it, at least once in a week, I repeat it just to make sure that it is there on his mind.
I
He's
see.
not liking it these days, but I have decided, like, no teenager likes his parents. Maybe I
I mean that's yeah, it's a common like common
because
trait
our
that yes.
and actually, I mean, I was disappointed with him recently for something, for like, respectless behavior kind of talking sometimes.
Sometimes it's kind of rude, being rude
Yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
sometimes,
Okay.
yeah. So then, I mean, why should I do that? I felt bad. And then I saw Elon Musk or somebody wrote a quote there. They did not, they did not choose us, but we wanted to have kids. So it's our responsibility. So we should wear some
Well,
things
that
and
totally makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
and that's nice, right? So it's our responsibility. They like it or not. We should remind them what is bad also at the same time. Most of the people, we talk about only good grades, that this and all, but we don't know what is going on in school and all, what and all they will learn. We have no idea to learn, right? And they don't share it with all those things. I think I did not have that awareness. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
I learned that.
So yeah, you want your son to be happy, but at the same time, there needs to be
Yeah.
some level of guidance to think for himself to avoid those.
Exactly. Yeah, and hurting others also is not good in any way, right? Like he should respect the other people and he should be happy. He should be happy and let others be happy. And can be anybody, right?
Got it. Oh, that's very interesting stories that you have, and I think some sense it's very common for it's common for my kid as well. But I think yeah, the way you think about, and then interesting different background. I think that's um, and I think he is not liking it, but you kind of he is he's okay listening to you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So right now, yes, but that's what I realized. Did we ever like our parents when we were in teenage, right? Like
I don't
we
think
just,
so.
yeah. I mean, now we realize and we respect them more, how much they struggled. And now I am realizing more why my mom told me. I mean, she was very strict on me. Now I have lots of respect for her, but not when I was teenager. My
Exactly.
God, oh my
Yeah.
God, she don't let me be happy. She don't let me wear that dress.
That's exactly.
I really wanted to go to college immediately so
Yeah.
that
Oh,
I can be independent. Same case with our kids, right?
I see. That's totally right. Yeah. Wow. Cool. That was a very interesting story that you can hear. So, what if you give you some advice? I think in the same situation like you yourself, right? Maybe the background of like very strict sort of parent when you grew up, and then you have children. Well, what kind of advice would you give to the parents who has?
I think it will just change. No solution fits for all, right? I think, it's not one solution. We need to keep changing our parenting style based on the situation and based on the kid and based on the things coming to us.
Got it.
Yeah. In the end, we just need to make one responsible, one happy person. So successful person and all, I don't think, I don't believe in, we should focus much about that.
And so happiness over success. I think if there is a way to pursue a happiness, even if less, recognized from the society, but being happy, you value being happy
Yeah, yeah,
over
definitely.
success. Yeah.
I
Uh,
don't, that's why I said, like, I want him to be an average, happy person. I mean, if something else comes like in his way, I will be very happy. But otherwise, I don't want his happiness at the cost of something else.
I see. And then he will find something that he likes naturally, and then that's the time you get his passion, and I think that's that's what you want. Like you want
Yeah,
him
yeah.
to
So my kid is
find.
actually, he's too much dive deep into anything. Like I mean, I would say he's kind of smart. That's the biggest problem for
I see.
me. Like, he want to go into cubing and always cubing all the time, ding ding ding, and all. He want all the keys and then keyboards. He want to all the keyboards. He'll click all the keys, do that and all, and then he'll drop it somewhere. Now he is into chess. He don't learn chess from anywhere, but all the time just videos, just that and he will be too much into that. He don't think anything. So at some point of time I was thinking that we should, yeah. So I'll tell you one more thing. When I
Okay.
was thinking that I should not force him, and I mean, I was discussing with my friends, like in our college, whoever are very very top, they are not very successful right now, but who are like, at an average rate and all,
I see.
they are
Yeah.
very successful. So sometimes, their character and everything will change and destiny will take them somewhere, right?
So the
It's
grade
not.
doesn't guarantee your success in your life, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So I was talking to that, but actually, again, Swati. So Swati told me one thing. So we learned this because, we are kind of successful in our life at some point of time right now. And now
Okay.
we think that it's okay to slow down. But if we don't put pressure on them and if we don't let them that you have to get A's and you have to succeed, if you don't, I mean, this is what I think, whatever I am telling you. But if you don't tell them, they'll have enough time to explore other options, which they don't need to. So we need to put them on pressure that makes them busy in those things. If kid is like personally, if they are interested in something and if they really really want to do that, they are fine. Kids like me who want to explore all the options, if you don't put pressure on something, he can go and explore anything. For that matter, he wanted to watch that anime shows. so which are too emotional. And I mean, anyone would get agitated when they see that. So he was too much into anime shows at some point of time, and he used to fight with us like, TVMA is fine, and even the gaming, right? We never,
Yes,
my husband
yeah,
always plays, only he plays lot of games, but he doesn't play that shooting games too much. This guy is playing so many, I don't know their games, like, all the time shooting.
it
That's
does
not
game.
what
Yeah,
I taught him when he was young. So racing games are fine, other games are fine. I don't like him when he's playing that shooting games. He'll buy
some
Xbox
violent.
and all,
Yeah,
but we can't stop them.
okay.
Like, at this age, you can't, no, gun is bad and all. We can't tell them. I try to tell them that's just a game, stop it there, but I don't stop him to play that game. And there are some things which we cannot do anything.
Okay,
I
yes,
want to tell him.
but you can guide it in a way to other route.
It only works up to some extent, because
I see.
I just want him, I'll remind him like, did you do that homework? Please do that, only then you can play. Right now that is working. It
Okay.
might, something else will work after some time.
Yeah, it seems like the like when they're growing up, become a teenager, there's some negotiation going on rather than enforcing them to do something without some rewards. Yeah, you get the video game if you do finish your homework. That's kind of kind of the thing.
No, that is the
So
only thing, because I don't have any choice to teach him, you play this game. And even our knowledge will be shrinking, because
okay,
anyway, generation difference, right? Like what I think,
definitely.
what my son thinks are very different.
I see.
I can't enforce him.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I mean, thanks for sharing all your stories, and I think we can just like I mean, like to me as well. Like if we can talk about if we wanted to talk about kids, like it's gonna be forever. Like there's some,
I know it is
yeah,
really
yes,
interesting one, right? It
yeah,
is challenging. And
yeah.
so many times I think they are teaching us a lot. Like my
Definitely, that's another aspect. Yes, yeah.
yeah. No, I think, I am a better person because of my son also. He's like motivator sometimes, like,
Oh,
like recently, I actually I used to buy some jewelry, clothes and all on Instagram.
yeah.
As a woman, I am interested, right?
Yes.
So my son will give a pep talk to me, like, mom, you can't do that. You all your life you can't do this. So you need a, what is that, a hobby to do that.
Okay.
When we were young, we were not going and learning piano and all, right? So I don't know anything. I learned little bit only. My son says at now, I told him like, there is some painting class, but I need to pay $200. I don't want to do. He said like,
Okay.
that's Mrs. for on clothes and all, you are spending that much. You should do that. I will give you 5% of my money. You should do that. He's a kind of motivator. So that way I really
Wow.
admire him. Like he's a good vocal speech. He'll give good speeches and also he will
Convincing. Very
motivate.
convincing. Yes. Yeah.
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 So that way he'll teach me a lot. So many times. I know I'll be admiring him silently, but these days I am not telling him. He'll be on
But
top of my head.
well, yeah, definitely the kids. I mean, having the kids, yeah, it's not always one way. I think the kids teach us a lot of
So many
from
things, right?
yeah, some perspective and the breaking your uh, sort of cultural background or how you raise by your parents, I guess. Great. Yeah. So I think we should continue. I mean, I think maybe we have a part two for more discussion. And for the
It's a
timing,
never
yeah.
ending story, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just cut it as a part one, and then I'll invite you one more time, and then I'll share more stories about it. But thank you for sharing all your stories, and
Sure, yeah.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then it's your first person, and then
Oh, I am really happy that I just want to see this your channel to be successful. I think
okay,
most of the time we learn from other people experiences, I believe.
that's definitely true. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes,
Yeah.
and thank you so much for your time
Good
today.
luck, Jason. Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank you so much. All
Thank you
righty,
so much. Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye.